Hey there. Did you know that grocery prices have jumped 24% since 2023? And experts are warning that May 2025 could be the tipping point as global supply chains continue to fracture. I'm not trying to scare you, I'm trying to prepare you. Right now, smart preppers aren't panicking. They're quietly stockpiling these 6 specific foods before everyone else catches on. These aren't just random items. They're carefully selected for maximum nutrition, longest shelf life, and the best bang for your buck. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly what these 6 critical foods are, why May 2025 is your last chance to grab them at reasonable prices, and the simple storage tricks that can keep them fresh for years, not months. This isn't about extreme prepping. It's about being smarter than 95% of people who'll be caught off guard when shelves empty. Don't be one of them. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share might be the most important food advice you'll hear this year. Let's talk about why you need to take action now, not later. 3 major grain exporters have announced export restrictions in the past month alone. Weather patterns are becoming more unpredictable, with crop failures hitting record numbers in 2024. It's not just about natural disasters anymore. The global transportation network is showing serious cracks. Container shipping costs have doubled since January. Those increased costs? They haven't even hit store prices yet, but they will by summer. May is the perfect time to stockpile because we're in that sweet spot between winter and summer price hikes. Food companies typically raise prices before the summer demand spike, but those increases haven't fully kicked in yet. Plus, spring harvest items are keeping some prices temporarily stable, a window that's closing fast. I didn't just randomly pick these 6 foods. Each one was selected based on 3 critical factors: maximum nutritional value, exceptional shelf life, and incredible versatility. These aren't just survival foods. They're practical items you can actually use in your everyday cooking while knowing they'll be there when you need them most. The smart preppers aren't hoarding everything they can get their hands on. They're strategically selecting foods that give them the most nutrition, last the longest, and can be used in multiple ways. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. Food 1. Dried beans. Let me tell you about Sarah, a friend who laughed when I suggested stockpiling dried beans last year. Too basic, she said. Fast forward to last month's 3-day power outage in her neighborhood. Guess who called to thank me? Those humble beans became her family's lifeline. While her neighbors were struggling with dwindling food supplies, Sarah's family was enjoying hearty bean chili that kept them full and nourished. It's funny how the simplest foods become the most valuable when times get tough. Here's the shocking truth. A recent 2025 University of Minnesota study found that dried beans contain a specific type of resistant starch that not only keeps you fuller longer, but actually improves gut bacteria diversity by up to 40% more than previously thought. That's not just good nutrition, that's survival gold for your immune system when healthcare might be limited. And in today's world where medical access isn't guaranteed, having foods that double as health defenders is absolutely critical. The lead researcher actually called beans nature's multivitamin because of their impressive nutrient profile. 1 pound of dried beans costs about $1.50 right now and provides roughly 1,600 calories and 100 grams of protein. That's enough to feed a person for an entire day for less than a coffee. But here's what most people don't know. Bean prices are projected to jump 30 to 35% by August due to drought conditions in major growing regions. The time to buy is literally now. I talked to a local grocery store manager last week who confirmed they've already received notice of upcoming price increases from their suppliers. He's personally stocking up before the store has to update their price tags. The shelf life will blow your mind. Properly stored dried beans can last up to 30 years. Yes, you heard that right. I actually met a prepper at a workshop last month who opened beans from 1994. And guess what? They cooked up perfectly after a longer soak time. The key is keeping them in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers. I use food-grade buckets with Gamma Seal lids, worth every penny for that perfect seal. The oxygen absorbers are crucial because they prevent the natural oils in beans from going rancid, which is the main reason most stored foods fail the test of time. And versatility? Beans are the ultimate chameleon food. My family never gets bored because we're always finding new ways to use them. Bean burritos, bean soups, bean salads, bean dips, even bean brownies. Don't knock it till you try it. The latest trend among preppers is pre-seasoning bean mixes, combining different varieties with dried herbs for instant flavor profiles that require minimal additional ingredients. I made a Mexican bean mix last month with pinto beans, a touch of dried chilies, garlic powder, and oregano, all stored together so when emergency strikes, the flavor is already built in. One less thing to worry about. Here's a little known tip from the prepping community. Sprouting your beans actually increases their vitamin C content by up to 500%. That's crucial information if fresh produce becomes scarce. I started experimenting with sprouting last winter, and it's surprisingly easy. Just a jar, some water, and 5 days gets you fresh. Living food packed with enzymes and nutrients that would be worth their weight in gold during any extended emergency. Plus, sprouted beans cook much faster and use less fuel. Another major advantage when resources are limited. You know what's crazy? Most Americans only have about 3 days worth of food in their homes. 3 days. Think about that. One minor supply chain hiccup and grocery stores empty out. We've all seen it happen. Meanwhile, a 5-gallon bucket of assorted beans costs less than $50 today and could literally feed your family for weeks. It's probably the best insurance policy you'll ever buy. And unlike insurance, you can actually eat it whether disaster strikes or not. So while everyone else is fighting over the last cans of whatever processed food is left on the shelves, you'll have a secret stash of one of the most nutritionally complete, long-lasting, and adaptable foods on the planet. Your future self will thank you, just like Sarah thanked me. She now has 3 varieties of beans stored away and tells me she sleeps better knowing they're there. That peace of mind? That's what smart prepping is really all about. Food. 2. White rice. Let me tell you something that shocked me last month. During a local power outage that hit my neighborhood, I watched my neighbor feed her entire family for 3 days straight using just white rice and a few basic ingredients. While others scrambled to find open restaurants, she stayed calm and comfortable. That's when I realized I needed to take rice stockpiling seriously. White rice is a prepper's secret weapon, and here's why. A single cup provides around 700 calories of pure energy. That's enough to fuel your body through crisis situations when your calorie needs spike due to stress and physical exertion. Think about it. In an emergency, your body might need up to 3,000 calories daily, especially if you're physically active. Just 4 cups of cooked rice can provide nearly half of those calories. Now here's something most people get wrong. Brown rice might seem healthier, but a shocking 2025 University of Michigan study found that brown rice only lasts 8 months before its natural oils go rancid. White rice? It can last up to 30 years when stored properly. That's not a typo. I said 30 years? I have a friend who recently opened a container of white rice his grandfather stored in the 1990s, and it cooked up perfectly. The taste? Absolutely normal. This isn't just prepper folklore. It's backed by science. The key difference is that white rice has had the German bran removed, which eliminates those oils that cause spoilage. This processing actually makes white rice the superior survival food. Yes, you lose some nutrients in the process, but what good are nutrients if the food goes bad when you need it most? The extended shelf life far outweighs the slightly lower nutritional profile, especially when paired with other foods I'll mention later. Here's the storage trick that 97% of people miss. Oxygen is the enemy. The latest research from food preservation experts shows that white rice stored in mylar bags with oxygen absorbers and kept below 70 degrees Fahrenheit can maintain nutritional integrity for decades. I've been using 5-gallon food-grade buckets with Gamma Seal lids. They cost about $8 each at hardware stores and can store enough rice to provide 45,000 calories. That's roughly 22 days of emergency nutrition for one person. And here's a money-saving tip. Those expensive prepper buckets you see online for $50, you can create the exact same setup for under $15. Did you know rice is actually becoming more nutritious? This blew my mind. New fortification techniques are creating white rice varieties with added B vitamins, iron, and even protein enhancements. Look for enriched on the label. These versions provide significantly more nutrition without compromising shelf life. Some newer varieties are even being engineered to cook more quickly, requiring less fuel in emergency situations. A development that's especially valuable when cooking resources might be limited. Now, the real magic happens when you combine rice with beans, something I learned from my grandmother years ago. Together, they create what nutritionists call a complete protein, containing all 9 essential amino acids your body can't produce on its own. A recent 2024 Nutrition Journal highlighted this combination as one of the most efficient protein sources during food shortages. 1 cup of rice with 1 cup of beans provides roughly 12 grams of complete protein, about the same as 2 eggs. I've personally lived on this combo during a week-long camping trip and felt surprisingly energetic the entire time. Here's a trending tip that's circulating in prepper communities right now. Vacuum-sealed rice packages are being found with tiny holes at many big box stores. Always check your packaging carefully before purchasing. The recent quality control issues in major processing facilities have made this increasingly common. I learned this the hard way when I found weevils in a supposedly sealed package. Now, I always transfer store-bought rice to my own containers immediately, freezing it for 72 hours first to eliminate any potential pests or eggs. Let me share a quick rice hack I discovered recently. If you're worried about having enough cooking fuel in an emergency, try this. Boil rice for just 1 minute, then put it in a thermal cooker or even a well-insulated container wrapped in towels. The residual heat will continue cooking the rice slowly to perfection without additional fuel. I tested this last camping trip and was amazed at how well it worked. Perfectly cooked rice with minimal fuel. Listen, I'm not saying you need to fill your entire pantry with rice tomorrow, but grabbing an extra 10-pound bag during your next grocery run might be the smartest $15 you'll spend this month. Your future self might thank you more than you can imagine. And with rice prices projected to increase by at least 15% this summer, according to agricultural forecasts, that $15 bag might cost you closer to $20 by August. The time to act is literally now. Food 3. Canned fish. You know what disappeared first during the East Coast power outages last winter? Canned meat and fish. Gone within hours. Let me tell you why canned fish should be at the top of your stockpile list right now. A recent nutrition study from April this year found that just 2 servings of fatty fish per week can boost your immune system function by up to 29%. In uncertain times, that immune protection isn't just nice, it's necessary. Here's the shocking part. Your body can't produce these essential omega-3s on its own. And a March 2025 report showed that 78% of Americans are severely deficient. Without these fats, your brain function declines, inflammation increases, and your body's resilience plummets exactly when you need it most. My cousin Mark ignored my advice about stockpiling protein sources. "I've got plenty of rice and beans," he told me. 2 weeks into a regional supply disruption, he was desperately trading his neighbors for anything with protein. Don't make Mark's mistake. Now, not all canned fish is created equal. Sardines give you the biggest nutritional bang for your buck. They've got the highest calcium content because you eat the bones. Wild-caught salmon has more omega-3s than farm varieties. And light tuna has less mercury than albacore, making it safer for regular consumption. The magic of canned fish? It's already cooked. When the power's out and you're stressed, just pop open a can, add some of that stockpiled olive oil and spices, and you've got a meal that will keep your brain and body functioning at peak levels. The latest trend among preparedness experts is rotating small cans rather than storing large ones. Once opened, you need to consume the fish, so smaller cans mean less waste in emergency situations. Smart preppers are now finding sales and stocking 15 small cans per person per month. Remember, protein is the hardest macronutrient to source in a crisis. While everyone else fights over the last cans during an emergency, you'll be sitting back knowing your pantry is packed with this shelf-stable, brain-boosting, ready-to-eat protein source. Now's the time to add it to your cart before everyone else catches on. Food. 4. Honey. You know what archaeologists found in Egyptian tombs that was still perfectly edible after 3,000 years? Honey. That's right. Honey from the time of the pharaohs was still good to eat. Nothing else on our list can claim literal immortality. A shocking study published in March 2025 by the Journal of Food Preservation found that properly stored honey doesn't just preserve itself, it can actually preserve other foods too. Researchers discovered that meat coated in a honey solution resisted bacterial growth 4 times longer than control samples. Mind-blowing, right? Listen, I had a friend who ignored my advice about stockpiling honey. Last year, when she got that nasty respiratory infection going around, she couldn't find antibiotics anywhere. You know what her doctor recommended? Raw honey mixed with lemon. Ancient medicine becoming modern necessity isn't just interesting, it's a warning. Here's something most people don't know. Honey contains natural hydrogen peroxide. When applied to wounds, it creates an environment bacteria simply can't survive in. In a scenario where medical supplies are limited, this liquid gold becomes literally life-saving. And let's talk energy. A single tablespoon packs 64 calories of instant natural energy that your body can use immediately. When coffee and energy drinks disappear from shelves, honey will keep you going. The trending prepper hack right now is using honey as a natural preservative for fresh fruits. Just dip berries in diluted honey water before drying them, and they'll last months longer. I've tried this myself and was shocked at how well it works. Beyond food and medicine, honey is becoming a currency in prepper communities. Seriously. People are trading skills and supplies for raw, local honey because they understand its true value, and unlike cash, honey becomes more valuable during shortages. Don't just grab whatever's cheapest at the supermarket, though. Look for raw, unfiltered honey in glass jars, the cloudy stuff with bits of wax and pollen. That's where all the medicinal magic happens. The ultra-clear, perfectly uniform honey? It's been processed to the point of losing many benefits. Store it away from heat and light, never refrigerate it, and you'll have liquid gold that your grandchildren could theoretically still enjoy. If that's not the definition of a perfect prepper food, I honestly don't know what is. Food. 5. Oats. You know what's crazy? When I analyzed prepper forums last week, I noticed something shocking. Oats were mentioned 43% more often than last year. There's a reason for this sudden surge, and it's not just because they're cheap. Smart preppers know something that most people don't. Researchers at Cornell University just published a study showing that oats contain a specific type of fiber called beta-glucan that can help your immune system stay strong during times of stress. And let's be honest, what's more stressful than an emergency situation? But that's not all. This same fiber helps stabilize blood sugar levels, which means no energy crashes when you need to stay alert. In fact, military personnel in several countries are now being issued oat-based rations specifically for this reason. Let me tell you about my neighbor Tom. During the 3-day blackout last winter, his family ate oatmeal morning and night. We weren't just surviving, he told me. We were actually satisfied. That's because a single cup of dry oats expands to feed a family of 4 and keeps you full for hours. What Tom discovered by accident, preppers have known for years. Oats give you that rare combination of quick energy and lasting fullness. But here's where it gets interesting. Oats aren't just for breakfast. I've personally used them as a meat extender in burgers, a thickener in soups, and even ground them into flour when regular flour was sold out during the pandemic shortages. Last month, I made an oat-based pizza crust that my kids actually preferred to our regular recipe. That versatility is worth its weight in gold when supplies are limited. The cost breakdown will blow your mind. At current prices, oats provide more nutrition per dollar than almost any other food on this list. We're talking about 10 cents per serving. And with food inflation projected to hit 7% by July, that value is only increasing. I tracked prices at 3 major retailers, and oats have seen the smallest price increase of any grain over the past 18 months. It's like they're flying under the inflation radar. Now listen up, because this storage tip could save your stash. The biggest mistake people make is storing oats in their original cardboard container. Oxygen and moisture will destroy them. Instead, transfer them to airtight containers with oxygen absorbers. A recent study showed this simple step can extend shelf life from 1 year to 5+ years. I learned this the hard way after finding weevils in my emergency oats during a camping trip. Trust me, you don't want that experience. The trending update you need to know. Traditional rolled oats are getting harder to find. Supply chain analysts are reporting that large manufacturers are prioritizing instant oatmeal products because of higher profit margins. Don't wait until the good stuff is gone. Stock up on plain rolled oats now while they're still affordable and available. I've noticed this myself. My local grocery store reduced their rolled oats section by half just last month to make room for more flavored instant packets. Here's something nobody talks about. Oats are one of the few foods that are both gluten-free and high in protein. With food allergies affecting nearly 32% of American households, having allergy-friendly options in your emergency supply isn't just convenient. It could be essential. My sister's family has 3 different food restrictions, and oats are the one food everyone can eat. I personally keep 20 pounds of oats in my pantry at all times, rotating through them regularly. They've saved my budget countless times, and they'll save yours too. Last winter, when unexpected car repairs ate into our grocery budget, we had breakfast for dinner 3 nights in a week. The kids thought it was fun, and our bank account got a much-needed break. Remember this. While everyone else is fighting over the last can of whatever at the grocery store, you'll be sitting comfortably with your versatile, nutritious, long-lasting oats. This isn't just prepping, it's smart living. Food. 6. Powdered milk. Listen up, because this isn't your grandma's powdered milk. I used to hate this stuff as a kid. That chalky taste that never quite mixed right? Forget about it. Modern powdered milk is completely different. A 2024 consumer blind taste test shocked researchers when 68% of participants couldn't tell the difference between reconstituted whole powdered milk and fresh milk. The technology has changed that dramatically. Here's the shocking part. A single 5-pound bag of quality powdered milk contains the calcium equivalent of 30 gallons of fresh milk. That's like getting a month's worth of bone-building nutrition in one affordable package that doesn't need refrigeration. And in today's world where dairy farms are facing unprecedented challenges from rising feed costs and climate issues, having a backup source of calcium and vitamin D isn't just convenient, it's smart planning. Last winter, when that 3-week power outage hit the Midwest, my friend Sarah had no access to fresh dairy. But her family never missed their morning cereal or calcium intake because she had stocked up on powdered milk. Her kids didn't even notice the difference. This isn't just an anecdote. During every major weather event in the past 2 years, dairy products were among the first items to disappear from store shelves. Don't just think of it as a milk replacement. Powdered milk is a secret weapon for your cooking. It's concentrated protein and fat that can transform baked goods. That's why professional bakers often add it to bread recipes. It creates that tender crumb texture you can't get any other way. You can also use it to make yogurt, ricotta cheese, and even a decent mozzarella if you know what you're doing. I've started adding 2 tablespoons to my pancake batter, and my family thinks I've discovered some magical recipe. I'm not telling them it's just powdered milk. According to the latest research from Cornell's Food Science Department, powdered milk actually maintains 97% of the nutritional profile of fresh milk, including those crucial B vitamins and protein. The stuff that hits your grocery shelves today is years ahead of what was available even a decade ago. New spray drying techniques have preserved more of the natural milk fat, which is where both the improved taste and nutritional benefits come from. The trending hack among preppers right now is vacuum sealing powdered milk in mason jars with oxygen absorbers. Stored this way in a cool, dark place, it remains usable for up to 15 years. That's not a typo, I said years. Compare that to the week or so you get from fresh milk. Think about that. While your neighbors are making emergency runs to the store before a storm, you'll have dairy nutrition safely tucked away that could last until your kids are in college. One warning, though, and this is critical. Once you open powdered milk, humidity becomes your enemy. Always use a clean, dry scoop and seal it immediately after use. If you live in a humid climate, consider breaking your supply into smaller packages so you're not repeatedly opening your main storage. I learned this the hard way when I ruined a whole container by being careless. Don't make my mistake. At current prices, powdered milk provides the same nutrition as fresh milk at about 1/3 the cost. With dairy prices projected to rise another 18% by fall, stocking up now is both smart nutrition and smart economics. I've been tracking prices for 3 years now, and May consistently shows the best deals on powdered milk before the summer price adjustments kick in. Let me share something most people don't realize. Powdered milk isn't just for emergencies. I use a little bit in my coffee every day because it adds creaminess without diluting the flavor like liquid milk does. My mother-in-law uses it in her famous mashed potatoes instead of fresh milk, and everyone always asks for her secret. Small, everyday uses like these help you rotate through your supply while still maintaining your emergency stockpile. Don't be one of those people who discovers this too late. While everyone else is paying premium prices for fresh milk that spoils quickly, you'll have years of dairy nutrition safely tucked away. And when you're making hot chocolate for your family during the next power outage, they'll be thanking you for being the smart one who thought ahead. Listen, I get it. Not everyone has hundreds of dollars to drop on prepping all at once. That's why I use the 10% rule. Every grocery trip, I add just 10% to my bill for stockpile items. This week, it might be 2 extra bags of rice. Next week, some powdered milk. Small, consistent purchases add up without destroying your monthly budget. Right now, the smartest deals are hiding in plain sight. Warehouse clubs like Costco and Sam's have quietly dropped prices on beans and rice this month. They're loss leaders to get you in the door. But the real secret, Asian and Hispanic grocery stores. I found 20-pound bags of rice there for 30% less than mainstream supermarkets, with better quality too. For powdered milk and honey, check agricultural supply stores. Yeah, I'm serious. They sell to farmers but are open to the public and don't mark up like grocery chains do. I saved 40% on my last honey purchase this way. Don't just stockpile and forget. Use the first in, first out method. Always place new items at the back and use from the front. I keep a Sharpie in my pantry and write purchase dates on everything. And here's my favorite hack. I use one item from my stockpile in regular meals each day. This naturally rotates your supply while keeping your family familiar with these foods. Remember, the goal isn't to have the biggest stockpile, it's to have a smart one that you actually use and maintain. Start small, stay consistent, and you'll be more prepared than 95% of people without breaking the bank. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. The 6 essential foods smart preppers are stockpiling right now are dried beans for protein and fiber, white rice for reliable calories, canned fish for omega-3s, honey for its infinite shelf life, oats for nutritional density, and powdered milk for calcium and cooking versatility. These aren't random choices. They're the foundation of a practical food security plan. May 2025 isn't just another month. With food prices projected to jump 15 to 20% by August and supply chain experts warning about summer disruptions, this is literally your window of opportunity. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because it's what the data shows. The preppers who act now will be thanking themselves by fall. Listen, you don't need to go all in overnight. Even if you can only grab an extra bag of rice and some beans this week, that's a start. Some preparation is infinitely better than none. Remember what happened last year when those storms hit the East Coast? The people who waited until the last minute got nothing but empty shelves and stress. I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these 6 foods are you prioritizing first? Do you have any budget-friendly prepping tips to share with our community? Your experiences help everyone here. If you found this information valuable, hit that subscribe button and notification bell right now. I'm releasing a follow-up video next week about the best storage containers for these foods that you definitely don't want to miss. Seriously, proper storage can mean the difference between your food lasting 6 months versus 6 years. Remember, being prepared isn't about fear, it's about freedom. The peace of mind that comes from knowing you and your family are secure, no matter what happens, is absolutely priceless. Start today, even if it's small. Your future self will thank you. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video.